Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Dead Unicorn. My name's Corey, and today we are revealing just how sexually inexperienced we all are. We're going to be hiring a sexpert to come in and play Legend of the Five Rings with us. That's right, it's Cyber Samurai Sunday.
Eat just the ways of the geisha.
I'd like to thank all of the patrons scrolling on the bottom of the screen down there. They help out the channel, especially Sebastian, who helps with the setting up the stream, the VTT,
Thank
the
you,
VTT, and all of the other stuff. If you want to join the Patreon, we have artwork. We have more artwork coming up. We're gonna have a new D&D stream with Sasha as the game master. That's coming up. And we're going to post the artwork for that there and tidbits there. But for Legend of the Five Rings, you get to vote for your favorite character. And this week, the character with the most votes is Naren again? Shoot. Naren, you got it again.
Shoot, that's great. Everybody loves a Sasha.
Everyone loves the now.
Hey,
All right.
You watch it. You're on thin ice, bud.
Nope.
You are on thin ice, though.
Ugh, how dare thee?
You're the one who did it yourself, bud. Rein it in.
Now let's introduce the gang, starting with Sasha, because she's the winner. She gets to go first.
Hi. I play Bayushi Naren. She is of the Bayushi Death Dealer School, which means she's really good at kind of being a jerk to people and then killing them by being a jerk. I think it's super neat.
So mean they die.
Yeah, so mean and so beautiful that they just die. Their heads go flying right off. I've seen it happen, trust me.
Don't worry, I dodged a bullet.
Currently, Naurin and Kuranagi are going to the governor's mansion because we got an invitation, and we're kind of planning on sticking our nose where it doesn't really belong and trying to find some interesting information while we're over there.
Just a little bit.
Just a smidge. So, speaking of Kuranagi, I will pass it off to her.
We got an invitation. Well, I didn't get an invitation, but someone else got an invitation.
Hold on. Who are you passing it off to?
Kuranagi.
Who are you passing it off to?
Tarek.
There you go.
Kuranagi. Yes, my name is Tarek, and I play Shishiro Kuranagi. I am the most delightful little scorpion you've ever seen. Very nice, very amicable, always trying to make friends for some strange reason. Time is come to allow all of those roosters to come home to roost.
Roosters.
And yeah, we're gonna roost the roosters, right?
The chickens come
Gonna
home
get all
to
the
roost.
cocks in the barrel.
Okay.
Right? That's why we had the expert on. We're putting cocks in
You're
barrels.
cocked,
Anyway.
locked, and loaded.
Yeah, we're locked with the cocks, and they're loaded.
We need the sexpert in
so-
here. Where's our sexpert?
Cracker Barrel here.
I will be investigating the governor's mansion with Naurin, trying to find out what kind of blackmail there is to be found on this man, and kind of doing, I think, more physical investigation, while Naurin might be doing more social investigation. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully we don't get caught. Hopefully I don't have to throw anybody out of a mirror or a window. Defenestration is difficult in these times. I will pass things off to James.
Excuse me. I'm James. I play Ide So, musician and agent provocateur, though he doesn't really like that second part. All right. Looking forward to finally finishing up my Giri here and maybe helping in Doji a bit tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to Matt.
Hello, everyone. I am Matt, and I play Doji Daisuke, who is a crane who tried to pick out two frogs for employment and wound up in a boiling pot of water and is in the process of being made into chicken stock. And hopefully that doesn't happen anytime soon. But
Not chicken stock, poultry stock.
Poultry stock. Yeah, you know.
Crane stock.
Crane stock. Fair enough. But yeah, otherwise, when he's not in such a stressful situation, he is a posh courtier that likes to spread rumors and listen to other people talk about different rumors and see if he could get any dirt on anyone. But apparently, he decided to saunter on into someone else's territory and made a bit of trouble for himself. So he's probably gonna have to admit his Giri to his companions and see if he could get a little bit of help from everyone. All right, and I'm going to pass it off to Crystal.
Hello, I'm Crystal. I play Moshi Sora, a centipede who uses fire and is good at using said fire for healing as well as harming. She is trying to find out what's going on with the pink cranes and hopefully can get some information from Kakita Morishita, who she's about to go wrestle.
Right. So, all of these characters, they're at a festival in Shozo's honor. Shozo is the White Dragon. He is a poet that is going into retirement. If you're wondering why anybody would go into retirement if you're just, like, old? How like...
Yeah, just because I'm old doesn't mean that I need Social Security.
Is he getting Social Security?
I don't know. Maybe if you have arthritis and stuff like that, you can't hold a pen anymore. But I'm sure
That's
you
why
can...
you have transcribers.
Dictated, not written. But yeah, like, just enjoy the rest of your life, man. You don't need to keep writing. There's a festival in his honor, and at the end of the festival, he will be picking a successor based on a poetry competition. All of these guys, all of the players, do they have a horse in this race? No.
Yeah.
I maybe. Depends on the player. I mean,
I'm specifically rooting for the horse that entered the competition late. I really think that Shinjo horses can really do anything. So.
But yeah, at this point in the adventure, the players actually don't have like a solid goal to go towards. They can explore the festival, they can make shenanigans up however they feel, and we'll see what happens by the end of the day. And that's how this part of the adventure works. And in doing so, they have all split to the 4 winds, and we are going to start with Matt and James and their characters, Doji Daisuke and Ide Yungso, as they are having a conversation at the fairgrounds about some very about some of those shenanigans that are happening.
Mm-hmm.
So, did y'all have any more to talk about? Because I know I cut off your conversation last week.
Plenty.
Well then, you are in the crowds of the festival.
We went to a private room, actually, or we tried
private
to find
room. There are no private rooms at a
place
festival
that
ground.
was private, that nobody else was there, and I had checked for eavesdroppers before we
Yes.
started talking.
You have found you're behind a stall, at the where the fences come together. You can check for eavesdroppers, but there will always be people passing by every once in a while. I mean, this is a fair, but you can have a mostly private conversation.
An affair.
And I believe we left off with me going, yes, you made a mistake, but I don't think it's one that'll be lethal for you.
How would you? Why? I thought I was their target at this point. How would it be lethal for anyone else?
No. The Ronin we saw, she specifically said that as long as we did not actively interfere, we would be left alone. That includes you. I believe she was cleaning up a loose end and, taking care of traitors.
It still doesn't feel quite right that those men had to suffer simply because I wanted to employ them rather than having them do more ghastly work, as in shaking people up and harming others. I thought
I
maybe
understand. The mistake I referenced was not sending them back to Crane lands and getting them away from those that might go after them or influence them. After
That
all,
is-
if they're in your employ, anything they do does reflect on you as well. And if you left them where temptation was, well, I'm at least glad to say they didn't appear to have fallen to that.
well, I gave them a job that I thought wasn't going to be much of an issue, but it turned out to be worse than I thought. Perhaps I probably might have to be more honest with you and the rest of the group, because my mission was to sabotage Otomo Ayuri's efforts in the competition, because the Crane wished to employ her as a scribe at the Kakita Academy, and it was my giri to shake things up a bit. I didn't want to put it in harm's way or get anyone, well, harmed in doing the job, but it proves to me, after having seen the results, that I'm a little more, well, at the time, more unaware of the dealings of
Shall
how
we
the
say
world
You're
revolves.
more used to court than street,
Yes.
just as I'm more used to step than either. But based upon her reaction and how she was acting here, I think she's going to be quite rattled for whatever comes later. So you may have succeeded better than you thought.
That may be the case, but the main point is to attempt to hire her, and considering how she reacted while we were at that alcohol stall, she definitely suspects that at least the group is involved in my sour dealings.
Reach up, pat on shoulder. Or
I'm not
gently.
that tall. I'm like average height at best, as Doji does.
Yes, but I'm 4'6". So I'm reaching up to pat your shoulder because it's well above mine.
All right.
And it's pat, pat, pat. I believe you just stated that your task was to make her fail, not to hire her yourself. Correct? So that the Crane could hire her.
Fair enough. I thought I
That
would
possibility still exists. They just might need to send someone else to convince her.
Yes, delegation. At the very least, I failed successfully at my task, strangely enough, but still have the heads of two men on my shoulders, and that is quite a burden that I wish didn't happen, but has.
As I said, it was a mistake, and one I hope you have learned from. Your heart was in a good place hiring them away. And your choice as to who to hire away, well, their deaths proved that once their loyalty was bought, it stayed bought.
Perhaps it would have been a lot better for me to hire like a pair of street urchins. That probably would have been a lot better than people who already had affiliations.
Let's kill some poor peasants.
Considering-
Children. That'll be perfect.
Considering who you were going to have followed, I wouldn't think children would be a good choice.
Well, I did not mean children. I meant, those who were destitute and needed some financial help.
That's what you did.
Yes. But
Maybe hiring some local samurai instead, and actually hiring for tasks. would have worked better.
Yes, and
But
rather than, once more, to reiterate, I chose poorly. But if...
let us stop. Let us stop the cycle of self-blame and reclamation. You've made a mistake. You've learned from it. The ones who suffered, it is sad, but they were not of a great clan anyway.
Well, I'll at least offer my prayers to at least hope they have a peaceful passing.
That is good and kind of you. I'm sure Moshi Sora has stated that she would like to visit the shrine later on. I'm sure she wouldn't mind a companion for that. I also am interested in that one just because it's in such an interesting location.
Then perhaps I will join the both of you. But I do want to at least ask of you if there are going to be any more problems stemming from what happened recently, and I am targeted. If my life is going to be at stake, would you at least please consider the safety of my manservant Hirohito? I would be quite remiss if he were to be tangled up in this mess. And if I also have to explain to the others the true dealings of it, I probably might have
Considering
to.
I've only seen your manservant while we were traveling here, and maybe twice at the inn, I think your manservant's pretty good at going unnoticed.
Mm-hmm. As I said, just in case anything happens to him, at least provide him whatever
What
cocoa
I think
that you have.
what I think you need right now is something to help take some of your mind off of it. Would you help me look for Kiro-sama?
Well, if I can distract myself from what went on earlier, certainly, I will definitely assist in that endeavor.
Then
Thank
let
you.
us go back into the main fair.
Okay, I'm gonna make a clarification here. My camera's way too high. There we go. So I need to make a clarification here because you said the clan is going to make the offer. And that is not true.
No, it was the clan is going to make the offer? Okay.
No, the clan is not. That is something that was assumed during that conversation, but I want to clarify so people do not make this assumption in the future because you need to know your giri.
Mm-hmm. I have to make the offer.
Yes. If she fails in her bid, offer her a job as an instructor at Kyuden Kakita. So it is up to you to make that offer.
All right. So I will definitely keep tabs on that, and Daisuke will still try to make the offer, though he expects himself to fail.
But
badly.
You can interpret that two ways. Like, oh, I'll just have to make the offer. She didn't have to accept. But it's implied in the order that they want her. You need to make her accept.
Yeah, so he will still try whatever he can to try to win her over, but he doesn't see a lot of success in that endeavor. Myself as a player included. It's probably messed up to the point to where it's unsalvageable.
By the way, salvageable? Did I give you a void last game for the complication happening?
For the confrontation?
No, for the complication.
No.
Okay, give yourself a void.
Well, I'm already full up on void currently.
Well, then you don't get in.
I'll take it for helping him out, calming him down. I still am one away from filled.
All right, you can go see Kiro So. He is he's out and about enjoying the festival. Here he is, right here. In fact,
want to see him?
He's drinking and talking to people and telling stories, and everybody's laughing, and they're eating little rice ball onigiri, like they're just sitting back having a good time while music is playing and there's people dancing, and that's what's going on. That's where he is.
Hmm?
Approach and wait for a moment to be able to talk to him without interrupting anyone.
All right. Kiro So will turn over and see you hovering and say, "What are you doing over there? It's a party. Come on over."
Join him, because I'm always happy to drink.
I'll join in as well since I'm accompanying Edie.
Oh, how are you enjoying the festival?
Quite well. The sake's quite nice here. And they actually serve decent booze.
Well, we're very close to Unicorn Lands. So, yeah. They also have, I think somebody's over there is selling some fermented yak milk. Somewhere around here, I'm sure you can find it.
Just have to follow your nose. It's a pretty unique smell.
So Corey, is he playing like any board games right now against any opponents, or is he open to
No,
doing
he's just generally talking to the other people around here, and he's like, "Isn't that right, Lion Son?" He says a joke, and it's just
Okay.
a bunch of different like guys all sitting around. Some of them were from your the entourage party that are not part of your specific group, but there was a member from every clan there. So there's a crab, there's a Haruma who's like snickering in the corner, like, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one, Kiro-sama. I like that.
Like, I'm trying to remember the name of that character, like Mugsley from.
Oh no, Mugsley is
Muttley.
Muttley from like
Great Race.
Wacky Races.
That's it.
No. He's more like George W. Bush. That's a good. Yeah, this guy's a funny one. I like him.
Would it be rude to bring up business right now, Kiro-sama?
He stops drinking. He turns towards you and he says, yeah, that's what I thought you were gonna come on over here and talk to me about."
If it is considered rude by you, I will drop it and wait for a better time.
So you made the offer, huh?
There is a dojo on Rooster Street that we think would suit the purposes much better than a stables would.
He turns to another samurai and he says, "Do you know about that dojo on Rooster Street?" And he's like, well, yeah, there's an abandoned building there. I didn't know that was a dojo. Is it really a dojo, or is it just some rundown place?
A rundown building.
I was told by I named the unicorn person, I can't remember who it was at the moment, that it is an actual dojo. It might be a bit run down. I didn't go and look for myself, but I was...
The guy gets up, the guy he was talking to gets up, walks over to him, starts whispering something in his ear. It's like, "Who's the unicorn person you were talking to?"
I named them. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Okay. And she's willing to give up. By the way, it was Utaku Feng Sha. Utaku Feng Sha.
Utaku Finsha.
You should keep better notes, man. This is your thing.
I'm horrible at notes, sorry.
That might come back to bite you really hard. So he says, Feng Sha, huh? Yeah. Tell you what. I'll take your deal. You can have the stables back. I will take the dojo. But I want Utaku Feng Sha to cancel next month's art show. You think that's all right? You think you can handle that?
Would this be her personal art show?
It's the one she puts on almost every month.
It's horrible.
I do not like coming. In fact, I'll make it easier. How about this? I'll sweeten the deal. You tell her that I will be too busy fixing up this rundown shack that she wants to give me to attend her art show.
That is very reasonable. Oh, and I thank you for your kindness.
All right.
I do not think I could convince her to not do the art show, but convincing her that you mean no insult and would normally enjoy going to such a thing, but you're too busy. I will happily pass that message along.
Excellent. All right. My man Hiro here, he will set everything up for you so you can get the paperwork, and you can take it to Feng Sha, and then you can come back. You give all of the paperwork she gives you back to Hiro, and we can call it a day. How's that sound?
Much appreciated.
Hiro, you got this? Yes, sir, I got this. Thank you. You know what? We'll do it after the fest. How long are you staying here?
I believe we leave soon after the festival is over.
Hiro, you're gonna have to get this done today. You might want to head on over back to the mansion. Yes, sir. And he gives a slight bow and runs on off.
I pour a drink for both him and myself. And say, a toast to finding friendship unexpected.
And making fruitful deals. What about you, Doji-san? Well, he's talking to his brother. He's talking to...
No face.
Hi, Matt. Kiro So returns to you. How about you, Doji-san? You enjoying the festival? Anything I can help you with?
Well, I'm quite enjoying the festival. I find it really refreshing, and the games and merriment are like personal pause, not character pause here. I do find them quite pleasant.
That's lovely to hear. That's so great.
Mm-hmm. And I'm most definitely looking forward to the.
I'm so glad. I am so glad I do not live in Doji Castles or Oto Senuchi. This city. This is the best city in Rokugan, let me tell you that. Let me say that right now. Rich Frog, there's no richer city in people, in just things you can do. I'm sorry, Doji-san, you were saying something.
No, I apologize. My brother interrupted out of character,
okay.
But
I knew you were talking to your brother.
What the fuck are you doing? But anyways, all right. So trying to get myself back in character. Simply enjoying the festival and looking forward to the poetry competition.
Yeah, the poetry competition.
I might even make a small entry myself. Not expecting to win, of course, but just to see how I fare amongst everyone else.
Don't waste the judges' time. I'm going to be one of the judges. I think. Hold on, let me double check to see who the judges are.
Let me double check. Am I a judge?
Open competition, right?
Kiru
like
family.
I'm asking as a player.
What'd you say?
I'm asking as the player. This is an open competition, not a closed competition, right?
It's both. You can compete, but you cannot like win the White Dragon
Oh, yeah.
ship. But
Like,
you
I don't
can win
expect-
like the top prize for people that are his students and are not eligible is a to become a student of the White Dragon. You get that because you're so good.
Oh, I don't.
So
I
you
don't
become an
expect
apprentice.
Daisuke to win whatsoever. He I was thinking about doing it a few games ago, like mostly on a whim.
Nope,
It's
he's
like,
not. It's the judges are Shozo, Miyagenda, and Ikue the monk. So Ikue the monk is the last judge. So he's just like, hey, go ahead, join the competition, write whatever you want. I'm not gonna be reading it. No offense, Doji-san, but I'm sure. I'm sure, like people other than you are gonna join and write some clunkers.
I don't expect myself to win the competition itself. It's more of a flight of fancy, just to see how I contend against everyone else who's just
Sure,
way above my weight.
everybody needs to hold up a measuring stick to themselves every once in a while.
Of course.
From here, I guess we'll move on because y'all got your things done. James, give yourself 10 glory for doing your giri.
Woo!
Isn't that great? Isn't that wonderful? You get 10 glory if you complete your giri. We're going to be moving on to Moshi Sora and Kikito Morishita. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Kikita Morishita. Yep. And you guys are going to go back to the Ryokan for some more private time.
Yes. Private wrestling time.
So you go on back there. You go in the front door, and you see Atomo Ayuri. Atomo Ayuri in the front room, just, having a drink, watching people walk in.
Okay.
Like, this is where she has retreated to. I don't know if you were there when... I have forgotten if you were there when she was drinking with Narin.
I don't think so. I think she
not
was
really?
where the bodies
Yeah,
were.
yeah. I don't think you were there either.
Like I may have seen her walk off, and that's about it.
Okay.
I'll acknowledge her as we walk by.
Yep. Morishita will too, and he'll whisper to you. I'm like, oh, I wonder what she's doing in here. Everybody else is out in the festival. I guess she is what everybody says. She's what's it called? She's one of those shut-ins.
I really couldn't say, but she does seem to keep to herself.
When she was I like Doji Sakurako, she told me about her and said she would always like to keep to herself, but not like she does anymore. Like, it's a little different. I don't know. She said that a Yuri was like a Kuni. But now she's like a
Box of chocolate.
no, not a box. But now she's like a Kitsuki. She was once, that's what she said. When she first met her, she was like a Kuni. And now she's more like a Kitsuki.
I see. So she's trying to find out everything that's going on around her. I don't know.
I mean, she always, I don't know. Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds correct. I think that's it.
He's not the brightest candle in the box.
So y'all will find a place, like a nice clearing out in the garden where you
I
can.
figured that would probably be the
Yeah.
place.
This is where like people, samurai who stay at the Ryokan can train a little. Like they can swing their swords and get really swole. They can do calisthenics here and such if they need to. And so for this, I want to ask you how you want to go about this particular scene. Like, I don't think you care about the wrestling itself, so I don't think that making a wrestling role matters.
Not like I
But
don't expect that I would be able to win, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to try. However, it's far more important for me to try to, like, charm him into telling me about Sakurako and her group.
That's what I was thinking. So we're gonna forego any kind of like physical wrestling roles because that doesn't matter. That's not the point of this scene. The point of the scene is you trying to get information from him, but he is going to try and charm you back. That's his.
For other reasons.
Oh, probably, yeah.
So,
First in the mud, then between the sheets.
he has some shugi he can
Shuji.
Yeah, shuji he can use, including one called Shallow Waters, which is aptly named for him. And then Weight of Duty. Oh, I can learn both your Ninjo and Giri with these. Okay.
Ooh.
So, he is going to use social. He is going to try and charm the pants off of you.
Literally.
With water. He's not good at water because that's charm. But he's going to try his best anyways. With
What's he good at? Fire?
water courtesy. And you're going to try and get information from him. What are you doing to get information from him? What's going to be your skill and your approach to it?
Well, I mean, I was also gonna do water courtesy.
Actually,
We're
no,
just
he's
having a
not.
friendly chat.
He's not going to use water courtesy. He's going to use water games because he is doing wrestling with you. So he's going to use water games because that's
He's good at games.
well, it's the same social.
It's the same role, but yeah, okay.
It makes more sense for him to use games. So you're going to use courtesy. I do not think water charm is the appropriate thing to do here. think it's going to be air for you. Because you're trying to trick him into getting this information. Because that is your goal from the beginning. Not to date him.
Are you sure?
I'm almost sure. Am I wrong? No, you tell me. Am I wrong?
It's not my goal to date him.
Exactly. So it's air.
It's her opportunity.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
he thinks this is a very important thing, so he will spend a void point.
Aw. Who wouldn't want to date that big log of a man?
You will difficulties 1, and whoever gets the most successes wins.
Most successes.
But you can use opportunity for special abilities and such if you like. All right, I'm gonna make my roll, and you have to make your roll.
I do.
Well, he is a sad boy.
Here we go. I'm using courtesy air.
He is just too
Difficulty
dopey
1.
and socially awkward to get anything done.
Oh, right, air. I only get to keep 2. Apply my strife. I have 2 successes.
Okay, so he is going to use... You're going to win. But he is going to use shallow waters to try and understand what your ninja is. He wants to know what you want to do in life. What is your personal goals and loves?
Okay. Well, my goals are to learn about all possible ways of doing healing.
Oh, well, that doesn't help him any.
Like,
It's like,
I want to make people well.
It could help him if he was willing to make himself unwell. Oh no! He killed me! Oh no!
Oh no, I have the vapors.
I'm so
He
hurt.
can, like,
Practice on me, Sora-san!
he can just pretend faint.
Get to catch him?
I need a doctor.
A doctor of blood.
Just call me Dr. Feelgood.
Just a himbo.
What are you spending your
Oh, right,
chance
my
on?
opportunity. You know what? I'm just gonna take off that strife I got.
Okay. So he wants to impress you a lot. So when you start talking about Doji Sakurako and questions of the pink crane, he's a little eager to answer the questions in hopes that you'll like him more. And when you turn your questions towards who, like, where, like, what's the questions you're looking to ask?
Basically something along the lines of, you know, at first I thought the Pink Cranes were just another sorority, but they seem to have a lot more sway than any other sorority I've heard of. What's so important about them?
Okay, that's a question he will answer with, they what?
You big word there.
They're a sorority. They are a sorority. They're great because they're cranes. They're all cranes. And he's 100% sincere in that answer.
Yeah, sounds legit.
Do you have a better question in mind?
Is there somebody, say, in the government who shows them great favor?
Sakuriko's uncle is in Odo Sanuchi, and she always gets letters from him.
What does he do?
He's some sort of like ambassador or something. Doji Heizan. Heizan. Doji Heizan, yeah. That's her uncle. He's like an ambassador to like the emperor.
Oh, wow. So, I suppose they are important people indeed.
Well, they're cranes, yeah.
Yes, I mean, even compared to other cranes.
I'm her bodyguard.
Yes, you are. And judging by your wrestling skills, you do an excellent job of it.
Yeah. He got no successes. I mean, you're pretty good too, like at wrestling.
Oh,
And healing. You're great at I heard you're a wonderful healer.
I do my best, and I am always trying to improve.
He remembers us yelling at her to hit us with her fire stick.
I don't remember if he was there.
I don't really think so.
You guys just like dodging instinctively.
Oh shit, try it again. I'll hold still.
I honestly don't know if I've got enough.
Well, what do you got?
Her uncle, Heisen, is an ambassador to the Emperor,
Yeah.
and she often gets letters from him.
Yeah, I think you got it.
So, yeah, basically, the Pink Cranes get their power because she is literally related to someone who's directly connected to the Emperor. Not like buddy-buddy, but like they see each other regularly.
But like, what does that mean? You're gonna have to get a little more, like, just because somebody's uncle is like an ambassador, that might not be connected at all to the greater sorority. Like, that is a degree of separation at the very, least.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to close that gap just a little. If you can prove he has direct involvement.
I don't suppose he's ever asked for them to do him any favors or anything like that. Or that he has done favors for them.
I mean, I've met him. Sakuriko and him, they talk sometimes, and at Doji Palace, yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's her uncle. Right.
Out of character, I have no more ideas.
Okay. Well, I'll let you think about that, and we'll move the game right along. And when you get an idea, you can come on back to me. Or maybe you can decide to get with some other player characters and ask them what they would do. But some of those player characters are on the Governor's Mansion island.
It's true.
The island of the Governor's Mansion. Y'all take the ferry back. You have permission to do so. You are on the island. There are like these frog statues there that... Do you know what Fu lions are? They are those
Yes.
Chinese lions that sit outside of castles.
Oh yeah.
They have like the swirly hair patterns on them and everything like that. Imagine that, but a frog. And that's what's sitting out on the docks here.
Oh. I don't know why, but I find that really cute for some reason.
They're supposed to be cute. And of course the gate that says home of the wise frog.
Okay. Well, I guess we are heading in. Naurin is kind of giving Kuranagi a look, and she's saying,
One moment
Oh.
before we continue. Crystal,
Hmm?
can you go downstairs and tell Jared to hold off on his party for until 8:30? Sorry, we
I'm
have
running off to
noisy.
grab a bite to eat real quick, so I'll be right back.
We have noisy neighbors right now, and I don't want the.
Can you hear it on
We can't hear anything. At least on my end, I can't hear them.
Yeah, I'm getting levels that are on my levels here, like definitely picking it up. Okay. Go ahead, Sasha.
okay. Yeah, so we kind of, Kuranagi knows what Naurin's goal here is already. Naurin is, just kind of gives her a look and says, I trust that you understand that this needs to stay between us, whatever we find out here.
Of course. What do you mean? Oni-san, I will of course keep anything that we discover to myself.
Including from my husband.
Oh yeah, of course. Why does he need to know anything?
He doesn't, but I don't like that you and him were off cavorting for some time.
Oh, about that. Yeah, there's some interesting information to be had about that.
Appropriate now or another time?
Are we on the ferry still?
You're on the shore.
So we're de-docking, basically.
Yeah.
We're exiting the boat. I look around, see if anybody else is around.
Oh, there's a guard hanging out, watching the festival from afar, doing his duty. He's got a Miyamon.
I did have some ideas about ways that we might get support in the city. And, a couple of scorpions out on their own in the middle of hostile territory could lead to some really troubling events. But I've been doing my best to make friends while I've been here, and that included trying to make good friends with your husband.
He could use some good friends.
Well, I felt like you could as well. So I've been trying to be a good friend. And you see, he doesn't seem to mind helping us with information, but he wanted something from me if he was going to keep helping us with information. And I think this thing that he wants from me could help us get even more information, because he wants a happy wife, and he wants a happy wife who is willing to bear him children. And that is a very advantageous position to be in for one such as yourself.
Kuranagi-san, do I look happy? She's like, this is a trick question.
She takes two fingers and puts them onto the edges of your lips, then pushes them in so you're smiling and goes, yeah, okay, yeah, I can see it.
Swats Kuranagi's hand away.
Gotta put your mask back on.
Yeah.
You took it off.
Okay, so listen. I think his heart's in the right place, but his head is stupid and dumb. You know, soft like most men.
I understand.
Yeah. So, he wants children, and he asked me if I would remove some barriers between you and him, so that that would be more easily facilitated. And of course, being the wonderful friend I am, I offered to do so. He thinks you're on the pace, which I don't know if I've ever seen you take it, but he doesn't know that, obviously. So I offered to make sure that you would be not on the pace, to make sure that you'd be available for children should you ever decide to make love again. Which at this point might be a far-fetched,
Very uncomfortable guard.
which at this point may be a far-off dream for one such as Hideruhito. Um,
I somewhat regret asking.
well, the good news is now you know, and the bad news is, well, mostly for Hirohito or Hirohito, because now that you know, you can take proper precautions and maybe even let him know that you know in return for his help to do things that you might need help doing.
I
Know what I mean?
understand. But for now, we should keep going to the governor's mansion.
See, I'm a great friend.
Wonderful.
Can I have
Thank
a
you.
hug?
No.
Okay, well, maybe we'll work on that for next time. Okay, so let's head to the mansion and see all these beautiful things that we're supposed to see.
Okay. As you pass the
I
guard,
walk by the guard and I smile. Hello.
the guard gives you a slight bow, and as you pass, the guard starts following you on into the mansion.
I totally thought you were gonna say shudders for a moment.
Wonderful.
Like,
Oh.
ugh.
Naren kind of leads a few steps ahead of Kuranagi. He's kind of walking for first, but still very close, and is very notably like glancing around, looking for when someone is going to come and greet them as they're like entering into the area.
You have a guard following you.
That's all.
Mhm.
We're just gonna walk through, and just the guard is gonna be with us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, you could talk to the guard, but like,
I was expecting that there would be like someone not like a guard, but more like an attendant or something like that that would be here. But if we don't see one, then Naren will turn to the guard and say, "Are you here to give us our tour?"
she says, I am Mia Hanako, and I will be your escort. That is all.
What a beautiful flowery name.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
You may, if you have questions, or if you want to, if you wander into places that you're not supposed to be, I'll let you know. But otherwise, feel free to walk around as a guest.
Okay.
I am not a tour guide, and most of the staff here has left for the festival.
Oh.
I see.
Though me and there are a few other house guard still on duty. And I hope you don't take too long, because I am scheduled some off time for the festival myself.
I see. Well, not to worry if things drag on or we have too many questions. I'm sure somebody here could give us information. I don't want to keep you.
You're a little low, Tarek. I didn't hear you that well.
I said, oh, don't worry. I'm sure there are other people here who would be able to give us information or help us around if we needed to.
Like
we
I
don't
said,
wanna keep...
most of the people are not here, and they're enjoying themselves at the festival.
Of course. Well,
There is
Don't be on
one other person here meditating in our gardens, Doji Sakurako.
Doji Sakurako-san. Interesting. Well, maybe she could help us find our way around too.
I don't know if she wants to be much help. She's here. I think she's preparing for the poetry competition.
Oh, I'm sure she'll be willing to help.
Very well. Well, the gardens are this way.
She's good friends with us, and we're here, helping to represent her and Shozo at the festival. I'm sure she'd love some assistance and some accompaniment back to the festival when the time comes.
I believe you remember the gardens.
I'd love to see them again if you'd have the time to show us.
They're right over here.
Okay, excellent.
Okay, you walk into the gardens with the big statue of the wise.
As we're walking, I would like to find out what status rank this person is as a guard, and whether or not there's some information that I'd like to find out about. Put it that way.
Okay, so do you want to make a government check?
To start off with, yeah, I'll definitely make a government check just to kind of give her a once over to find out what her deal is. Government analyze for air. TN?
TN1.
Okay.
I'll give you some extra information for some extra successes.
Successes or opportunity?
Successes. You can get other information for opportunity unless you have like a Shuji that can give you that kind of information.
Question. Not yet, but here's my roll so far. I got a success and some opportunity. And my opportunity, I'm using a scholar skill. I'm going to spend my 2 opportunity to notice an interesting detail about a character in the scene, such as an advantage or disadvantage. So I'm going to use that to try to read her to get an advantage or disadvantage on it.
All right. So let me check my generic NPC list here. Subjects of Rokugan. Well, that's not going to work. You want an advantage?
Yep.
She is sworn to Bushido.
Sworn to Bushido.
Yes.
Interesting. What does that do?
It tells you that she has a devotion to the honor and code of a samurai.
Honor, the code
and any roles that she has that have to do with those types of things like honor.
And this is her advantage?
Yeah, she gets to reroll 2 dice.
Perfect.
As for making the roll, you know that she is a Mia house guard. She is a Bushi. She is Imperial. She has a... her status is somewhere in the 40s.
That is somewhere in the 40s. Comparatively, mine is in the 30s, and I think... What is yours in the 30s? Okay. Alrighty. So she's still important enough that we have to mind our P's and Q's, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Hanako-san, how do you like your position here in the gardens?
In the gardens?
Well, in the estates. My apologies.
Miyagenda is a good master.
Yeah? I don't know much about Miyagenda. Could you inform us a little bit more about your lord?
Well, I'll have to look that up real quick if you give me a second.
Sure.
Oh, here it is. He says, Miyagenda is the second Mia governor here, and he took over quite a few years back now, and he has been very welcoming to the Keru within their ranks. He's a nice man. He's very giving, very accommodating person.
How was the work of the Mia before him? I don't know much about him, but I'd love to learn the history of this place. Were you here when the previous Mia
No, I
here?
was not here with the previous. He was before my time, before my Genpuku.
Did he retire?
Yes. He's
I see.
gone.
Well, someone can be gone without retiring. Necessarily.
What kind of would it be a sentiment check to try to see if there's something about that statement that doesn't sound right, like what she's saying by gone?
She's just using a euphemism for like he's dead.
Oh shit. Okay.
He is past tense.
He has passed away.
Well, it is always sad to hear when someone great passes onward, but I'm sure there are those here who keep his spirit alive.
Well, you
How
guys
did
are
we
in the
pass?
you guys are in the garden now, and you see Doji Sakurako sitting by a water feature. She seems to be like staring into the middle distance, kind of into the sky. She has a piece of paper and a quill next to her. There is another guard standing, not next to her, but a ways away, being unobtrusive, but it's there.
Why, hello, Doji-san.
She kind of snaps to and looks at you.
Fancy meeting
I'm
you
sorry. Yes, it is fancy meeting you here. Yes. I thought I was the only one coming to this island.
Oh no, you see, me and Bayushi-sama have found quite an interest in seeing the luxuries that Miya-san has brought to this city of the Rich Frog.
She looks at the manor and looks at the garden and says, "It's quite acceptable."
Does it remind you of your time back in Doji Castle?
Nothing reminds me of my time back in Doji Castle. Doji Castle is a unique experience. If you've never been, I suggest going. You will never forget your visit to the homeland of the Doji family. We take things to another level entirely. In fact, the sights you can see at Doji Castle, one can't even see in the imperial palaces.
That sounds almost intimidating.
I have I want to preface this with would it have been possible that Naurin has been there, considering she was going to be engaged to a doji originally?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Then Naurin's gonna say, I have been to Doji Castle. It is acceptable. And I would like to make a check to give her strife. I would very much like to make a check to give her strife.
Freak her out a little bit.
I want to annoy the shit out of her.
Okay.
Not
It
because I
was-
have any stake in it.
I like the
But
idea
because
of
I
you,
want to.
you saying the same thing she just said, which is it is acceptable.
Yeah.
Like, I've been to Doji Castle. It is acceptable.
She is
Got
going
her
to
inner
counter
lemon
you.
grab.
She's going to try and counter you with command. And she's going to use command. I need the
Should I
I-
actually make a roll for this?
Yeah,
Or does it
100%.
I would like to do something as well in this situation right before they do it, which is as a support action, I would like to make a courtesy air check to target 2 different people in the scene, making one gain +2 to their TN and the other lose 2 to their TN.
You have to do that before. You really have to set this one up. Because she just really just now just went BAM, which means you don't have time to do that kind of thing. You really have to set this up, this technique
I
up.
feel like what I just said was setting this entire encounter up between the two of them.
All you said, all you asked was a question.
Okay.
So, if you are looking to do this in the future, like when you start a scene off, let me know. But you can't do that in response. It's not a reaction kind of thing. It's an action you have to do.
Sure. I thought my opening statement was enough for that because it just says with a few chosen words, you can do this. But
the few chosen have to be like chosen to do it. Not I choose those words that I just did. It's I'm doing this specifically to do it, and I'm using these words.
Fair enough.
So yeah, she will use command fire.
Okay.
To incite you.
Okay. So do I make the check first, or do you?
We're both gonna make this check, and what we need are opportunity to give each other strife.
Okay.
Okay. And successes can just mean like how well it landed, but the opportunities are the things that give you strife.
Okay.
So make it a difficulty 1, and she is going to bite back with she's going to bite back with yes, some people aren't suited for it, but you should so you should keep running. You should keep running, little scorpion.
I have an advantage distinction, Dead Eyes, which helps me perform a check that relies on avoiding exuberant emotion. Would that help me not be pissed off by her?
It is specifically to help like withstand other people's attempts to rile her up.
Yeah.
Shoot.
I can put it in chat too.
Yeah, put it in chat.
Let me remember how to do this to chat. Because now I took this so that Naurin could be that like not reactive person specifically.
So I will allow you not to outwardly react, but you'll still take strife
if I fail.
If you fail.
And
so yeah, her retort is going to
checks or just 1, and I just want my check to be higher than hers.
No, you just want to keep opportunity.
I meant I was going to initially make a check to give her strife.
Exactly.
Do I need to? That's the same. Doing that one roll, right? I'm not doing another one to contest what she's doing.
It's not contested. Well, not really. It's you make a fire roll. If you succeed, if you succeed or not, all you do is keep an opportunity, and you can give somebody else strife.
Okay.
And she's going to do the same back. When you say yours, she's going to say, Doji Palace isn't for everybody. You should keep running, Scorpion.
I also remember learning her disadvantage.
What is it?
Let me see here. I'm trying to find it just before I make this roll.
Oh, I know it for
she
sure.
She thinks that she's better than everyone else. Where is the thing where I wrote it down?
I don't think you got her advantages or disadvantages.
I had specifically tried to get hers. I know that I remember it in the first. But I can't find it right now, and I don't want to spend forever reading, so shit.
Yeah, I don't think you got it. I think she was one of the ones you missed. So she's going to make her roll, and you can make your roll.
If it will let me pull it up. Dice picker.
And she'll keep that, and she'll keep that. And she'll keep that. So, first off, she is going to use. Well, do your roll too. Ooh,
No opportunity.
no opportunity.
No opportunity, and I'm gonna take 2 strife, but better from me than from her.
So she is going to make you take 2 strife
Okay.
by inflaming you, and also she has she has another opportunity. She can't.
Oh, I should have
use
re-rolled
that.
the dice. I forgot to do that.
She can't use
well.
that. She has no more. Wait. Nope. She can't use anything else. Okay. That's all good. She's done. You take 2 strife and 2 more strife from the roll.
Okay.
But since you did make some successes, you understand. Wow, that's a weird thing that happens on your screen there.
I have no idea why.
And you're not moving.
Nope.
Wow. You want to change your camera source and then change it back and see if that works?
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I didn't do anything and it just stopped.
That was weird.
Yep.
So what you understand is that she knows exactly who you are.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you get from your successes. That she knows your past.
Okay. Let me see here. All right. Then Narin shoots Kuranagi a look like, I don't know why we had to be here, and looks clearly annoyed. An emotion flits across her face, and she's directing it at you now.
Uh-oh. I look over at her and go, I hope you wouldn't mind, but the Mia here would be overjoyed by the opportunity to be able to go back to the festival grounds sooner rather than later. Would you mind accompanying us through the castle grounds to help us see what there is to be seen? Given that you have come from such the lap of luxury, I'm sure you would be able to make sure that we didn't miss anything that would be a sight to behold.
She stands up, brushes off her kimono, from whatever leaves or things, dirt from the. I am stuttering today, and I don't know why. I gotta get with it. She will brush herself off from sitting in the garden. She says, "Don't take this the wrong way, Shosuro-san. But I will help you with a small tour of this place. If it gets you out of here any faster, I am trying to study for the competition coming up.
With all the grace and talent that is afforded someone of your station, I'm sure you don't need that much time to study."
I appreciate the compliment, but this competition is not to be taken lightly. And it is nothing against you. It is simply that I have a duty to perform.
Of course.
I'm going to use Courtier's Resolve to drop my strife.
Sure.
Because I do not want to be so strifed out well next to this very unpleasant woman. There we go.
You know what? I'm also going to do that. So, what are your thoughts on Miagenda and his governorship here?
She says, I haven't given it any thought. He seems
Really?
like a nice, lovely governor of a city that is seemingly out of control. Out of his control.
I would not have thought anything was going here.
If there is a way to fix this city, I don't see it. But then, I am not a bureaucrat, and perhaps Miagenda, his stewardship of the city is just simply something beyond the teaching that I have been told. Like I said, it is not. I am not a governor, so I cannot fathom how one would try and get this city under control. He has a very hard job.
Indeed. One that perhaps he has been entrusted with because of his skill and tact.
I hope so. That said, if the Crane were in charge of the city, we would flood it with soldiers on every street corner.
As I am sure you would.
We would probably rebuild the city from the ground up. But it is not our city. And
Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, she just says, this is not our city. And who knows what kind of resources that the Mia actually have or willing to give to Miagenda.
I see.
So y'all wander around the mansion for a bit. There are it's really nice in there. There are big receiving rooms. There's like a fully stocked kitchen with stuff from all three of the clans here, and stuff even from Scorpion Lands to the south. There is artwork, like some really great artwork from the different clans and from local artists. You're not allowed to go to his office or his bedroom, though. Those are the two places that are kind of off limits, and they're kind of next to each other. They're on the top floor, and that's where you can't go.
Did the Mia leave, or did they stay with us?
No, they stayed. They're not going anywhere.
Even
Or
though
just
we
one.
secured a person to show us around.
Yeah.
They never said they would leave, which is why I'm annoyed that you brought her with us.
Now, if you want to like sneak away, you got to sneak away from two people instead of one.
Yeah, I know, right? No idea why we're doing this.
Well, it's my intention to try to rile up the Crane, Doji Sakurako.
Right. The
full-time
trained
Milwaukee
courtier.
rep.
Sure,
Yeah.
but we still have like shit we gotta do here.
Sure. The Crane courtier, I definitely want to rile up more. So I'm going to be asking like questions that are kind of pointed toward her that might seem benign to the outside observer, but to her would make more sense. Namely around what Doji Daisuke was recently doing.
I don't understand.
So let me spell it out. I'm going to be making statements about the stuff that we know about Doji Daisuke. How Daisuke has been
Oh, you're gonna throw
interfering,
him under the bus and make her look bad
make her look bad and make her
by
panic.
association.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
So basically, I'm going to be saying, there were some interesting things that happened at the festival today. Namely, there were some people who were killed, and then bring up that point to the Mia and be like, by the way, perhaps we should inform the magistrates because there was two two individuals who were killed in the festival today. We had only learned about it on our way back here to the governor's mansion after being invited to come and look around. We have it. It's interesting to think because our associate, your cousin Doji Daisuke, was previously seen speaking with these people before they ended up dead. That's a strange coincidence. Pieces of information like that slowly throughout our walk through the palace to try to rile up the doji, while at the same time not really being anything other than trying to seem helpful to the Mia and bringing this information up.
Okay. She'll say, I guess you can't help but try and start rumors, Scorpion-san. But I will go speak with Daisuke to see what exactly is going on. Excuse me.
Well, you see, it was strange because these two individuals seem to have been following Otomo Ayuri, one of your competitors. Might be seen as a bit improprietous for someone to be putting a scare into someone who is taking part in the competition, someone who's a direct rival of yours.
I sure hope that's not the case. That would look very poor. But I doubt it, right?
I'm sure there's nothing impolite going on at all.
Your implications are noted. I understand you had some problems with Kengo, and you're looking for somebody to blame, and it is not me. In fact, I believe you successfully pointed out the lion. But
Yes, but
you're correct. If you're correct in Daisuke having any dealings with that, I guess it falls to me to figure that out. So I will speak with you later. I have to go. And she'll leave.
I see.
And her guard will go with her. But not your guard. Your guard stays.
Okay. I will then start talking to my guard about.
Hopefully the rest of our walk will be more pleasant.
Oh, now that she has rekindled her sense of duty to her clan, I'm sure that we will have a much more pleasant experience of this place. After all, Mia-san seems to be quite a knowledgeable individual when it comes to the things that are to be seen here.
I was speaking to Miyagenda about his life in Oda Sanuchi before he came here. Did you come here with him? Or were you appointed after?
Yes, I'm in service to Miyagenda.
I'm sure that is a wonderful appointment. You must be very proud to have the opportunity to serve him here.
Thank you.
He seems like a great leader.
Did she kind of purposefully dodge my question, or was that not understanding
Oh yeah,
what
she's
I asked?
very direct and doesn't talk a lot. She's got a duty,
Okay.
She's performing it.
Let me see here. I would like to, I guess I'd like to make a courtesy check, to try to get her to, like, loosen up a little bit and, like, be a little bit more, willing to chat with us and kind of lower her inhibitions around us a little bit.
Okay. Make a courtesy check.
I would love to help.
Sure, you can help with that. You can give assistance.
Give
I'll allow that.
Okay.
So on the roller, just make sure you click it.
Okay. Yeah, I clicked assistance.
It's a TN3. What stance are you using? What approach?
Would it have been harder if we weren't doing courtesy? Because I think I remember that you're supposed to use courtesy with people who are higher status than you, right?
Yeah.
For it to be less troublesome. I'm wondering what way I should go with this, and I think that really just matters about my opportunities. I think I'm gonna do water because I want the espionage use opportunity for water.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do charm, and I think that's also really appropriate. It was either gonna be charm or trick, honestly.
Okay. TN3 if you're using water.
Okay. And then is assistance the just a little plus button?
Yep.
Yeah, the plus button. Let's make sure there's a 1 there. Oh, you're good.
Oh my gosh. Come on.
There you go. Need one more success.
Come on. No.
No.
Okay.
Do you have rerolls?
I don't know. I'm gonna look.
Not on water. Maybe.
Narrative. I don't think so.
Let's see what you got. Because nobody remembers their
I do remember mine. I'm just double checking because I think everything I have is fire or earth.
In
and that
fact,
was-
hold on. Before you do anything,
Mhm.
re-roll 2 successes because you have whispers of cruelty.
Okay. Never mind on that. I'm just gonna use my auto success and say no to that. And can I still keep my opportunity on this roll? Because I can't.
No.
I
No,
can't keep
all
any
you
opportunity.
get is successes enough to
Yes.
make it.
You don't get any opportunity when you use your auto
Okay,
success.
well then I'm not going to use it because if I'm going to fail either way and I can't keep those opportunity, I want those opportunity. So I don't care.
Okay, so
re-roll.
re-roll 2 successes. Any 2 successes on your roll?
I don't know how to. It won't move. Oh. I need your help. It's not.
Oh, because you already freaking re-rolled. You did it out of order.
I was where I was before you said anything. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
I know.
It doesn't move. See what I mean?
Yep. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do something for you.
You wanted to just re-roll because that would.
No, I got it.
We're having to re-roll.
I got it.
But then if I don't get my opportunity, I'm gonna be mad because I would have gotten those anyways.
So yeah, what you're supposed to do is if you have any disadvantages, you're supposed to use those. You're supposed to use those because you get void for using those.
Yeah.
I didn't know that would apply here.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Makes
That's
sense.
that's exactly what you're doing. You're trying to, use. It says.
I am trying to get her to cooperate with me.
Yep. Making a check to calm others, convince them to cooperate with you. Yeah, that's not going to happen. So I'm going to take your skill. You used... Where is it? Social. You used courtesy and water with assistance. And we're going to roll those dice. Oh, it's difficulty 3. I forgot to do that. Okay, and then... we're just going to do this, and this, and this, and that. And then I'm going to make you re-roll these 2 dice. And it's all opportunity.
Well, that's perfectly fine for me because I mostly wanted those opportunities.
So you're
And
going
I
to
get
keep you're going to
so
keep
that's
2
okay.
opportunity? Right?
Yes. So for 1 opportunity, espionage use, you observe a clue or a hint that indicates to you that information about your target or goal might be found elsewhere.
You're using
Water espionage use.
watering. espionage.
Espionage.
And then I'm gonna look at what else to spend it on in that area too.
If this guy has any sort of secrets, they're gonna be in his office,
Yeah.
and you
Okay,
gotta find
so
a way
then-
in there.
I need to get Kuranagi away, and into the office. Okay. Then let's see here. What else can I do? Is courtesy a, what kind of skill is it? Back here, courtesy.
Social.
Social. Okay, I will spend another opportunity to add a kept ring dice set to an opportunity result on my next social check.
Okay.
And then I still have 2 more, right?
You have you have 3 opportunities because you could keep 3 dice, and I forgot to. I think I don't know. Let me double check. Yeah, you could have kept 3 dice, so you have 1 more opportunity to spend. By the way, gain a void point for failing the roll.
Okay, yep. Got that. Okay, if I have 1 more opportunity, then... Let me see. Was it 1 opportunity to help? No, 2 opportunity to provide assistance to the next character.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Then you know what? I'll just use that to negate the strike that I got from this roll.
Sounds
The
great.
extra strike. So I'll just stay at 1 because I can't decide what to do with that one. And then I'm gonna look at Kuranagi and I'm gonna use our bond, and say, find a way into his office.
Yeah.
Flee, you fool.
Yeah, pretty much.
So she's too much of a stiff to ever be more
Let us.
relaxed during her duty. This is her duty, and she takes it very seriously.
She takes it very seriously.
Duty.
So then perhaps if she's going to take it very seriously, I should perhaps make it a little bit more difficult for her. I'm going to go somewhere where everything is very expensive. Is there,
Sure.
where is that room where
Like
all
an
of
art
the beautiful
gallery or
art
something?
and
Yeah, you
everything
go to that
was?
room with all of that art.
Yeah, with all of that art. And I'm just going to be getting really close to everything. Not enough so that, enough to worry her a little bit. And I'm going to ask her a lot of questions about everything in this room. And I'm going to be performing a check on fire, I believe, to keep her attention, and spending opportunity to do it really flashy and basically just be a giant distraction
Right. That'll work.
and hold her attention so that she doesn't she's more worried about me than Kuranagi.
So, what do you think? Is this command or courtesy or performance?
Performance
I think it's-
sounds good.
I think this is a performance. Let's see what the skill book says. I got a skill book here. Nope, that seems.
There are definitely
So
techniques out there where you can do a perform check to keep someone's attention, and it doesn't necessarily mean you're dancing or singing or something.
Intentionally needling your audience, stirring your audience to immediate action. But under courtesy, convincing someone to listen to their emotions rather than reason, reminding someone of their desires, drawing attention to yourself. So courtesy could work too.
I was thinking courtesy,
Yeah.
Mainly because I'm trying not to like look like I'm trying to piss her off. I'm just trying to very politely keep her attention.
Okay. It's still a
Ah.
TN3.
Okay. Then let's try
You're my
this.
tour guide. Tell me all about all of the art. All about it.
All of it. Everything about all of it.
So before you explode any dice, you can use advantages then. It has to
Yeah.
be before you re-roll any dice.
Okay. I doubt my advantage would
Actually, dangerous
be-
allure might.
I was gonna ask dangerous allure, potentially.
Yeah.
It does give a command check to get someone to act in spite of possible consequences, or performance check to incite emotion in someone. And I am trying to keep her focus on me and like using fire for that.
Sure,
And
we'll do
figuring
that.
incite.
Yeah, dangerous allure sounds good.
Okay.
You're trying to make her continue to focus on you.
Exactly. So that, you know, if Kuranagi has to slip out to use the washroom, she's more worried about me with all of this very expensive art.
I was wondering when the
How you
bathroom
did
was
it.
gonna come in
It's
to
coming, it's
play.
coming now.
I was like going, what are they gonna say? I have to go to the
Oh, I
bathroom.
didn't take a dump. I'll be fine. I'm just gonna be a minute. Where's the little girl's dumper?
Oh my god.
Little girl's dumper.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm gonna spend a void on this because I feel like it's this is a really important roll. So
Okay.
that void I just got. Oh my god. I need that exploder. I need
Well,
it.
before you
Come on.
explode anything, don't explode it! What did you do?
I
What?
did
You gotta
explode it.
re-roll.
I have to re-roll?
You have to
I
re-roll
forgot.
beforehand.
I forgot. I know you just said it, but I'm not used to doing this. I totally
You
screwed
did
up.
it again. Now's the
I
time to
did
use the free win roll.
Well, I mean, I need opportunities.
For what? Because you just need to make the distraction, really.
I mean, I guess. Okay, then I'll just use it now then. Oh shit, I'm glitching again. What wonderful
Such a weird
timing.
glitch.
It's okay. It's okay. I don't know what's going on there, but
I
yeah.
don't know.
There,
Doom
it's
is
all
just
over.
happening.
It's having a stroke.
Yeah,
Okay,
Doom-
then you know what? Never mind this dumb roll. I'll take my auto success.
Auto success! Yay! Woo! Auto success! Okay, auto success happens, and she is like so engrossed in like making sure you behave that Kuranagi is able to
Slip
go off
away.
and do something as long as she doesn't take too long.
Yep.
You gotta go be quick.
So first, Kuranagi needs to make a stealth check.
Fitness?
Fitness, yes.
Oh, right. Not skullduggery.
I do also have. I know it probably won't necessarily help in this situation, because it's not an initiative check or an attack check. But I can skulk. So if that helps at all,
It's
I
only
can,
on an
like,
initiative check. It makes you like
background.
vanish instantly.
Don't do the thing that I just did and actually use your affective harmlessness, because that might make you not seem like a big deal if she
Oh yeah,
notices
for
you
sure.
gone.
I'm definitely fainting and disappearing through, and affective harmlessness
So
should help.
first, the TN would have been 3, but it's now 2 because there's a nice distraction happening.
Excellent, excellente. Okay.
Fitness.
I'm assuming that doesn't also count as assistance. It's gonna count for lowering the TN. So
I mean, either it lowers TN or it's assistance. Which one do you want?
Either one is one
I think
lower
the
TN.
lower the
Same
Yeah,
thing.
lower the TN is better.
Because you can re-roll the dice potentially anyways if you fail. And
Ide Youngso has ranks in fitness, right?
James?
James.
Sorry.
Ide Youngso
Do you have
has
fitness?
fitness, right?
Let's see. Fitness.
I would hope
yes,
so.
I have 1 rank in it.
Okay, good. Good,
Because
good,
this
good.
is an important role.
All right, sounds good. Put out. Alrighty. Everything's strifey, which makes sense because, well, I'm dealing with a Mia.
All right.
Oh my
do you
gosh.
do you have any disadvantages before you go on? Because now I'm going
I
to
have
say it every
lost
time.
memories and fear of death.
So I think
nothing
not.
relevant.
Any advantages or disadvantages? Since you don't have anything relevant, you can move on.
I will. Well, okay. I guess I don't need to do any of that stuff. So let me just do this, and then
So keep some dice.
close. Do that, and I will
You
negate
only needed 2.
strife equal to the number of ranks plus my bond rank. So 2 strife will be negated from this roll.
Okay.
And then I will use my opportunity to do this more unobtrusively by spending an opportunity from Air Ring to act as subtly and attract as little attention as I can.
Okay. You make your way into the office. There's
Dun,
a
dun,
whole,
dun, dun, dun.
like, you... What are you looking for? And you can't say, I'm looking for dirt on him. You have to say something more specific to, like I'm looking for information about his family. I'm looking for information about
So
this thing.
there are 3 things that come to mind. Everybody says that he had to do a lot to keep peace in the city, including Kiro So. So any documentation that revolves around his dealings with the Kiro.
Okay.
Secondly, he was sent to a city in the middle of nowhere between 3 different clans that don't like each other very much, and is now the governor of that city and hasn't talked to his family in a long time. So
And they don't
potentially,
seem to be too broken up about that. considering they're
potentially he was
messengers.
sent here as a punishment for something, to have the responsibility of managing this province and all the headache that comes with it. So either they have a huge vote of confidence for him and believe in him so much that he's going to really turn this place around, or he drew the shit end of the stick and he's now suffering the consequences for it. So anything like that might tie to his family. And then lastly, agendas. Agendas are going to have like schedule information, is going to have any kind of information that he has with dealings with the Dogeru or the Boseki or any other bad things. The last thing that comes to mind is I found out a bunch of stuff about the dragon and the dragon fleeing the city. So if I can find anything that related to the dragon or the investigation that was happening that got dropped instantly,
All right.
that is another piece of
I'm going to
information
give you time enough to research one of those things, plus, because you have a bonus success, one other thing. So of
The dragon?
those, give me the 2 things you think are important.
The dragon thing is definitely something I think is important because that's weird and that happened in his city. 2, what was the first thing that I said? I lost it now. What was the first thing that I said? I said it was really important, and now I can't remember. off the top of my head.
Something about
Anyone?
the Keru and his dealings with them.
Dealings with the Karu. That's how you ended
So
that
you said the
statement.
dealings with the Keru, why he's here
Family.
from his family, and then you said like all the things about the mafia again, which is basically
Well, no, agenda. Like their agenda, his schedule and agendas for the like notes on his meetings are going to
Oh,
be.
okay, notes on his meetings. Okay.
So I will say the dragon thing, and then the Keru because he had to do stuff. That's what it was. He had to make deals with people in the city and to keep the peace with Kiro So. So that was the other thing. Anything that has to do with the Keru
So the
and anything that has to do with the dragon.
so the dragon, we'll do the Keru thing first then. When it comes to having deals with the Keru, he leaves that to Kiro Sobe. So if there's any underhanded dealings or double dealings or stuff like that, Kiro Sobe takes care of all of it, and it doesn't look like he answers questions about that or does meetings about that stuff, except, just whatever Kiro Sobe wants to update him on. Otherwise, it's like how many more people are coming into the Mia family via the Keru family. He's keeping notes on, the new members that are coming up. And what it appears to be from what you're looking at is Kiro Sobe's strategy is to simply wait out this mafia thing. And the more poor and terrible things are looking for them because of this war, the more he looks like the best option for his wayward Keru, and hoping that they will just come to him, and then he swears them into the Mia family.
Okay, hold on. Let me write this down. Kiro So is hoping to wait out the mafia families with the
Basically, he's trying to make himself look like the best option by keeping them in this constant state of terrible war.
keeping them in a tight zone.
Whatever that entails, whatever, double dealings or two-facedness or however Kiro So is going to do that, those details are not here. The dragon gives you the results you need. So apparently what was going on was there was a blood speaker in town, a follower of Yajinden. And a dragon investigator came in to find this person. They have this person, and they are keeping it under wraps with the governor's blessing. So it appears nobody knows about this person.
Okay, I'm going to try to take the information about this, like documentation, with me.
Okay.
Not like I know this might take more time, but I'm not like just stealing the document itself, because that leaves evidence that I was here, and that could be even worse. I'm trying to take down that information, or at least the most pertinent pieces of the information, and then leaving with that.
You're not sure you have time for that, but you can test your luck. As
I have, let me put it this way. I have keen hearing. So the moment I hear somebody coming, I'm going to dip out. If I don't have enough time to keep finishing up what I'm going to do, I'm just going to grab my shit and run.
Okay.
The moment I hear people
So this is what's going to happen. Back at the art gallery, which is actually like a fancy receiving room and such, Mia Hanako will get very upset and say, Shosuro Kuranagi is taking too long. I have to go check on her. Come with me, please.
Oh, all right. I was enjoying my time here. And as we're kind of making our way to Kuranagi, I'm going
start
to
whistling loudly.
I'm going to make sure that I'm not walking quietly. Like, I'm making noise. And I'm talking to her, and I'm saying, what's the big fuss for? And I'm also going to like kind of stop early, and I'm going to pretend to be distracted by something else down the other way so that she has to stop and make sure I'm coming with her.
All right.
To try to give Kuranagi more time. So I'm going to be like what rooms or anything are right outside the area we were kind of in.
Okay. Right. How would she react to this? Because make a performance air check. Make a performance air check. It's a TN3.
All right. So I'm not going to forget it this time. Will Dangerous Allure still be useful here? Because I'm still trying to keep her attention. I didn't use it last time. I didn't roll anything. And I think it's once per scene.
So, yeah, it's not once per scene. It can happen as many times as you want, as it happens. But she's now, like...
But that does say, like, in spite of the possible consequences.
I'm basically going to counter it with my duty to Bushido. So I'm going to make you. So if you have to if you can re-roll 2 dice that are bad, I'm going to make you re-roll 2 dice that are good.
Good.
And I'm just going to call it a wash.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Can I spend, since I ended up just taking the auto success, can I spend that void to instead turn her loyalty to Bushido advantage into a disadvantage? Because I'm also part of her duty to watch.
Yeah.
That's bold. I
I'll
like
let you
that.
do that. And now you can re-roll 2 dice on that. Great. Good job.
I am reading the book.
She was literally sitting there reading the book the whole time. Everybody else is doing themes. That's good planning, I think.
This up this time. Okay, so I'm doing performance, air, void point is
So
gone.
you start saying, Mia-san, you're not being very courteous to me. I wanted to do this, and you're my guide here, and you're my only
invited to
guide.
the governor. I was invited here.
Yes.
And you are supposed to give me a tour. Yeah.
Where's your sense of courtesy?
Yeah, exactly. So rude.
I thought you were sincere in your, you start
In your
naming off
interest.
Bushido tenants.
Exactly. I'm just rattling them off, being like, shame on you.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. I have messed this up twice. You come here and make sure I don't screw this up again. Come here.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Okay, step by step.
I have.
Don't have assistant.
No.
Do you have void? No, you
No,
don't.
because I just used the turner advantage into a disadvantage.
Okay.
And it's air, and I clicked on performance, I think.
You're good. Yeah, you have a performance trick.
How can you tell?
Okay.
Okay, cool.
It's right there. So now you press roll.
Ooh.
Okay, so that's 3 successes. You can keep this if you want.
Yeah.
That's 3 successes.
That's
you just
fine.
Get
That's
strikes.
all that I need.
Yeah,
That
you don't
is
have to reroll
okay.
anything.
I
You're
lowered
good.
all of my strife, so I'm good.
You're good. That's it. Take all your strikes.
I'll take that.
And then you're good.
All right,
Time to
Kuronagi,
just work.
you get enough time to write down what you need and head back to the washroom, and then you see, and you come on out from that area, and you see Bayushi Narin and Mia Hanako, arguing over the use of this room and what it's supposed to be for, and all sorts of weirdness. As she has successfully given you enough time to make it back.
Looks like you two are getting along famously.
I think we have kept you here long enough. I am a little bit disappointed with this tour of the governor's mansion, but I understand that you must be very excited to go to the festival. And it is my sincere apology for keeping you here and for if I flustered you.
Sounds like I missed out on him a bit, but...
Yes, I was just disappointed. That is all.
Okay, we're going to end the game there, guys. We are 13 minutes over. James is gone. But yeah, we're over time. We need to wrap it up. Everybody can get 2 experience points. We need to do some honor gains and losses.
Is there any way to get 1 more point?
1 more point of what?
Experience?
No.
Oh.
There's one
Hey,
more.
doesn't
There's a
hurt
way
to
for.
ask.
There's a way for Matt to get 1 more point of experience.
Ooh,
Catch up
the
with
true
everyone
or
else.
false quiz.
True or false quiz.
So what are we starting off with first?
I'm creating the question, or creating how I want to word the question. Give me 1 moment.
I'm surprised you didn't already make it up.
No, I always make them up on the spot, and I try it. Here's the question. Here's the question. True or false? Complications in-game can give a player a void point but that only happens when a person's personal goal interferes with their duty to their lord.
True.
That is true.
All right, thank you for the easy win.
Was that easy?
I don't think that was
You knew that one.
I knew that one.
I didn't.
James didn't know it. I didn't think that was an easy question. I usually don't talk about complications.
You got for the past few years I roleplayed in L5R. You ragged on me for it numerous times. So
Complications.
great.
Complications are very important.
I'm not a fan of the rule. I know game masters that make players come up with their complications. It says I'm not sure if the game master is supposed to come up with it or players are supposed to come up with it. But all it says is, slightly more codified way for GMs to use these character motivations at the table. So I'm supposed to come up with complications. But I know other game masters who are like, no, the players have to create those for themselves if they want Void. Because, like, it's hard to know all of these players, every player's, like, stuff, right? It's just really hard.
There's a lot more responsibility on you having to come up with something for them.
Mm-hmm, exactly. And then there's the Wheel of Doom, which I hate. I hate the Wheel of Doom. Which is a guide for game masters on how to use Ninjo and Giri in an adventure, but it's, like, bullshit. It's really bad. But anyways, Honor and Glory rewards. Hey, major honor loss for snooping in where you're not supposed to belong there, Kuranagi-san.
Major, so it's my rank?
Yeah, it's double your rank.
Double your rank, okay.
And for being complicit in it, that's a minor loss of honor for Bayushi Narin, which is equal to your rank. Being insincere to Kakita Morishita is a trifling sort of honor loss for Moshi Sora. And making a deal with Kiro Usobe is neither honorable nor dishonorable. It is neither glory-worthy or not. It just is. But completing your Giri gave you 10 points of glory. That is it for this adventure. Thank you for joining us. If you watched this all the way through, you obviously liked it, hit the like button. If you're on Twitch, hey, follow Dead Unicorn on Twitch. Follow it on YouTube. Thanks, everybody, for watching.
I really hope everybody enjoyed, because that was a really big reveal there at the end there.
So, from all of us here, Crystal, James, Tarek, Matt, and Sasha, my name is Corey. Go roll some dice.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.